You may be asking yourself, is this the only shirt this guy wears? It's just like this is the third video with this shirt in it. Well, let me tell you, today's Saturday. It's still Saturday. I'm not going to upload this video today. I'm going to upload it, I don't know when. Down a few days from now, maybe. I don't know when. Okay, so when you see this, you're going to say, this guy's still got, this is going to be in the future. You're going to see this. Okay, but it's still Saturday. It's my third video today. I just feel like making videos. I feel good today. I don't know. It's part of being bipolar. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we do. But I want to make this video. I want to do it kind of as quick as possible. But I'm really not in a hurry. And, but I just want to share something with you about a band that I really like. I really enjoy this band. And, so let me get into this. In 2013, they had this concert in Troy, Ohio. Okay, I live in Vandalia now. It's just north of Dayton, and just a little north of here is this town called Troy, Ohio. And in 2013, they had this big concert. Okay, it was this big concert. They were going to shut down the whole town, which Troy's not a big town. They were going to shut down the whole town and bring in all these bands, and they set up, I don't know, 5 or 6 stages around town in these different places, okay? And they have, all kinds of bands. Like 50 bands coming in, okay? And then they took the high school, the football field and all that, and they converted it into a main stage for the main acts, okay? And Mumford and Son, I'm not a real big Mumford and Son fan. Music-wise, but I think they're good people. But they're the ones that set this big concert up in Troy, Ohio, which I thought was very cool. Okay, it's very cool. And kind of at a last-minute thing, I was like, I think I'm going to try to go. It just kept building up hype. And I was like, this is going to be a good time because I lived in Troy, and I kept seeing people coming from all over the country to see this concert. It was like a 2-day concert, and they had shut down the levee of the river, and they set up tents, man. And there was tents, up one side of the river and down the other, just thousands of tents, man. So it was like an incredible thing. And it was called Gentlemen of the Road Tour. So like a week before the concert, I actually found some tickets on eBay. Okay, I don't know if it was sold out. It might have been sold out or something. I can't remember. But I found some tickets on eBay, and they were like $80 a piece. Okay, I think I spent $150 for two. But it's just like 50 bands, 2 days, incredible time. So I ended up buying the tickets, and this guy somehow I bought them from a guy in Indiana. He got them to Ohio just like that fast, and I ended up getting my tickets, okay? And I was going to say something, but I changed my mind. I'm not going to say it. Anyway, let's get through this. They give you they call them passports, okay? It's just these little books here. They were like passports. And they have like the main acts. They have like this little thing in there for the main acts, and they go inside your passport like this. And then they got these they tell everything. These little books. How cool is this? So they had all these, and they showed, you can see the town right here. This is Troy. They closed down the town. The main stage was over here by the high school. And then you can see all the little tents. They put all these tents up by the river. And, and I lived in Troy. So it was really cool. I could just walk down there. Okay. And one of the reasons I wanted to go is they had these guys here. Old Crow Medicine Show was playing. Okay. And I really like Old Crow. Okay. Their older stuff, like this stuff here, the older Old Crow. Their newer stuff's not as good. They've kind of, but their older stuff is really good. And they kind of the guy that sings sounds a lot like Dylan, man. I mean, it's just crazy the way he sounds. And Carry Me Back to Virginia. We Don't Grow Tobacco Anymore. You know, Levi, Bootlegger's Boy. You know, it's kind of like this upbeat, swinging, folky music that, you know, that Dylan would have done. And I really dug him, man. I was like, man, Old Crow's going to be there. So I was like, I definitely wanted to go. So ended up getting tickets, going down, and they give you these bracelets to wear, okay? And they just go on and off. It's like this. And you put the bracelets on. It says Troy, Ohio. It's got a little bar. They scan you when you go in and out, you know, and you just put that on. And I kept all that stuff. I just thought it was just, you know, it was just one of the coolest things ever. And, but one night I went and I never heard Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros were going to be there. Okay. And I didn't know who they were. Everybody, I guess a lot of people from out of town, they wanted to come and hear Edward Sharpe in this, you know, the group. Well, the guy's name is actually Alex Ebert. And, my goodness, man. I tell you, the only thing I regret about the concert is I was so trashed. Okay. I was so trashed that I couldn't hardly stand up. And I kind of, you know, that's one of the things I look back and I'm like, man, that was horrible. You know, I really, you know, but I do kind of remember that concert and just the vibe, man. It was just such a wonderful vibe at that concert, man. It was just wonderful. And people were just stoked out of their minds, you know. And I remember I was standing there, and I almost fell. I almost fell down, and there was this chick laying on the ground behind me, passed out on, you know. And there was like 50,000 people at this concert, and this chick's like in the middle of them on the ground laying, and it was like everybody was just, you know, including myself. We were all just smoked, man. We were just fucking smoked, and so. I immediately loved Edward Sharpe, the Magnetic Zeros, okay? This is their first album, and I did write this down so I could kind of help you out. But this album here is called Up From Below. This one came out in 2009. They're kind of a hippie group, man. They're kind of a modern-day hippie group, and they do like this. They're into the drugs and the psychedelia. There's Alec Ebert right there. Or that's one of the chicks, man. I forget her name. I think it's Nora. But Alec, he kind of had this, from what I read, he kind of had a breakdown. Okay. He had like this drug problem and he ended up going into a rehab and, you know, trying to get his shit together. And while he was in there, he kind of lost it, you know, and he invented this character called Edward Sharpe. And then he had this group. I mean, this group is huge, man. It's just like a big group. They called them the Magnetic Zeros, man. And they just partied and made great music. And that's them on the cover there. I mean, they just had a good time. And that's what it was about, man. And that's kind of the vibe that you had. Look at, there he is right there. You can see him in the middle, walking. And this was another one here. This one album here is actually called Here. This is their 2013 album. You know, it's that trippy psychedelia type of stuff going on. It's you can't hardly, I don't know if I could get the light right here. The lighting in here is not, there you go. Kind of see it. See how it's the same color, but it's like raised. And you can feel it with your hands. It says Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros on it. And then it's got like this, see that in the middle? It's got this like reflector on it. Where's that other thing? There was a reflector I had here I was going to show you. Anyway, I don't know. It's probably sitting here somewhere. And then they had this one here. This is their self-titled album. Okay. And this one came out in 2013. And it's just a montage of pictures on the inside. It's a gatefold double album. But this is the album I want to talk about right here. This album came out after the concert. This came out in 22 years after it was came out. 2015. The concert was 2013. This is a triple album. Okay, there's 3 albums here. There's Alex right there singing. There's the track list right there. And it opens up like this, okay? You can see the vibe. I mean, that vibe, you can see him dancing there. And you can see, and I mean, they got the old soul, old school, hippie vibe, man. And what this album is it's called Live in no particular order. And they did this tour, their tours, and they took a song, one song off of each one of their tours they did, and they put it on this album. Please excuse the dog barking. She's having a good time in the rain. But there's a song on here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Right under my finger. From Troy, Ohio, and I was at that concert, and it's called If I Was Free. And to me, this album, man, it just blows away. And these are all good albums here. These are great albums. But this one here, man, this to me is a very special album. I don't know. It's just this is probably one of my favorite albums in my record collection. I don't know if it would hit you as good as it does me, but I'm sure that if you like the psychedelic, hippie vibe stuff, you would probably enjoy this album. But, there's a song on here. It is called Brother. And it really reminds me of my brother. My brother passed away from drug addiction. And then there's another song on here, and it's called Mother. And it kind of hits me. Because my mother got killed a few years ago in a car accident. So, I don't want to bring you down, but I'm just telling you how this record has impacted me. It's got a song here about the American Indians, Blackwater, which, I really dig that, man, because I think the American Indians were really done wrong, But anyway, this is a fantastic album. And and what happened was this. Now, here's where it gets messed up, because they just stopped making music, okay? Some years ago. And I'm just like, what is going on? And then come to find out, okay, these all were youngsters. They were all partying, having a good time, doing the hippie thing and everything. And Edward, I'm assuming Alex Ebert, Edward Sharpe, he ended up falling for one of these hot chicks in the band. And she's just got a phenomenal voice. She's beautiful. And they were like doing the free love, stuff that the hippies do, But he fell in love with this chick. Well, she ended up running around with another guy in the band. And, and then the band fell apart. And it was like, really? So I started digging, and Alec Ebert, he did some solo stuff. He's done some solo stuff since then, but, it's just not, it's his latest album. I was listening to it, and I was like, wow, man, this is horrible. I wish I'd have never even listened to it, because it kind of took away a little bit from what they were doing with the Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. And, I think the chick's name was Nora, if I remember right. Nora something. But anyway, she did an album here recently with this guy. And she's kind of a producer, really put together, on, going in the right direction and shit like that. And then her album, I can't remember the name of the album, but it was really good. And I was like, wow. So, it's like different people when they're together and they're making music together. They're having a good time together. Good things happen. And this album here, man, if you don't have it, check it out, man. Check this album out. Go through the track list and listen to it. You can listen to it. It's on Spotify as well. But, man, this is definitely an album. I just wanted to kind of share that with you, that I was at that concert. And we had a great time. There were some great bands there. Um, there was another. They had like bluegrass and shit there, like the younger bluegrass. People call them newgrass or something, but you know. But anyway, great band. Check them out. Brother Brian just wanted to share that with you, man. It's Saturday still. Don't worry. I'll take a bath and I will change. By then, this is gonna be. I'll have a different shirt on when you see this video, man. You know, check them out. Brother Brian's out of here.